Listen, I just listened to a wonderful interview with Beth Comstock. She said China, they've always had the long game. Can I infer from that that the U.S. has always had the short game when it comes to China?
I think that is an issue, Rick. I mean, let's face it. We have elections every 2 years, presidential elections every 4 years. President Xi is president for life, and his capacity to wait and wait and wait is much greater than ours.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I've always, many are very complimentary about having a long-term plan, especially when in this country everything's in the immediacy of the moment. Another issue that is important when we get into this tariff discussion. We have Brian Sullivan at a Polaris plant. Their prices are going up. But didn't we learn during fracking that global markets set commodity prices? Should we be shocked by that?
No, we shouldn't be surprised by that. I think, when you look at the big commodities, the global conditions are going to dominate the bilateral tariffs between the U.S. and China. I don't think that's the big deal. My bigger concern in terms of the fallout from the tariffs is on the investment climate in the U.S. We know that we were seeing a big boost in business fixed investment. That is exactly what our economy needs. And in the aftermath of the first round of tariffs, we saw a lot of polling that said, I'm not so sure we're going to go forward. Another round like this makes you worry about that outlook for investment in the U.S.
And everybody is worried. I certainly don't want to diminish this topic, but the markets seem to be dealing with it. I guess the biggest issue, being a quant guy, and I'm going to cite the New York Times. They did an article in July that said that initially the cost per a middle-class average family of tariffs is about $127 a year. And when it gets ramped up, which it's doing now, and they knew most of this back in July, it would run up to around $270 a year. Contrast that with the Tax Policy Institute's notion that that same average middle-class family saves about $930 on taxes. Do you agree with these numbers and what they say about this issue regarding costs to an average family?
I think the numbers are what they are, and the most important lesson that comes out of them is the tax bill and the regulatory reform had an enormous positive impact on the economy. That has outweighed the negative impact of the tariffs so far. That's absolutely true. And the more important number, Rick, is how much do those families continue to benefit from rapid economic growth? And if we cut off that growth, what are they losing? That, to me, is what's at stake.
Yeah, no, and I guess my point is I certainly don't want to dismiss anything investors should be aware of in the windshield. But the point of the matter is we spend a whole lot more time worried about $127 and $270 being taken away, spent hardly any time on the $930 added in. And my final notion is, in the end, Doug Holtz-Eakin, do you think if this gets resolved that the collateral damage in the short term is worth the long-run notion of being able to tackle China on firm ground when our economy is solid?
It's a big if it gets resolved. And my concern there, Rick, is I don't know what that means. I don't know under what conditions this administration stands down and says they've met our desires. We agree that they're participating effectively in the global trading system. So I don't know how that happens.
Got it.
But if it happens, it's a good thing.